everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with a new process video for Cheeky Studio. I'm going to start out with that yellow paper from the Autumn Beauty collection. It's paper, I don't remember if it's 9 or 10. One side is 9 and the other is 10. And that's what kind of inspired this layout. I keep all of my Cheeky Studio product in an iris container, and I just went to look for a piece of paper that I might be able to use and then went from there. So I found the paper, then I found these photos that I thought went really well because the yellow paper reminded me of gold. And I'll explain that a little bit later about why that was important. Then I grabbed this star paper, which is from the Bella Boulevard Just Add Color collection. It's the Starstruck paper. And then I'm going to back all that on that polka dot paper, which is from Pebbles Land that I love. It's the Oh My Stars paper. So these are photos of my grandson. I was babysitting him and his brother and sister, and the other two were taking their afternoon naps, and he and I were watching The Greatest Showman. Their family is in love with this. As a matter of fact, that hat is part of a Halloween costume that he wore. The family went dressed as the characters from The Greatest Showman, which, oh my gosh, it was darling. So this was right before Halloween, so we were watching it, and he was actually performing the numbers with like that that photo right there literally is one of the poses that the main character does in The Greatest Showman. So super, super cute. Had to get it documented. Because it's Showman, the gold just reminded me of circuses and shows and that kind of stuff, as does the stars there. And then the blue is just pulling out some of the colors from the photos. I know it's emphasizing the rug there, but I think he's standing on that rug, so it really helps emphasize that. Now, I was going to use that other washi tape, but it doesn't work very well because it's not yellow enough. It was less gold, so I'm going to grab this washi tape from Target, and I like this tape, but it's got flaws in it, so I just ripped it there, and then and it's also got a big flaw in the middle of the tape there, right down the middle. So what I'm going to do is, and I wanted a thin piece anyway, so I'm going to figure out as soon as I get the photos here mounted and trimmed up, where I'm going to put that. Because what I'll do is I'll hide part of that with the mat. So that's what I'm doing there, is I'm just trying to decide, okay, that's where that's going to sit. And then I'll just stick the tape there. And that way then I can just mount. And there's the other side of that Autumn Beauty paper. That's gorgeous. It's like a big autumn piece. I've used that though in my scrapbook already, so I'm very excited about that. So I could use this yellow side. If you haven't used that, the first side though, oh my gosh. Definitely get it. I love this collection. It's one of my favorite Cheeky Studio collections. Now I am going to use some ephemera from the Family First collection, and I'm just using the stars here. I did pull the 2 hearts that I have left as well, but I don't love mixing stars and hearts. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't. So in that case, I'm just positioning them, and I am thinking about using this flare from the Sweet Succulents collection because I wanted to kind of point out, I really wanted to point out that that pose he's doing, but it just didn't work with the way I oriented my photos here. Guys, as long as I'm talking about Cheeky Studio, don't forget that you can use the code Kelly10, Kelly10, to get 10% off any order, except if you order a kit, because those are already, if there are any kits left, those are already on Smokin' Deals. And I will link all the product I've used in the description. The paper is part of a collection of paper, by the way, so you'll get more than just that sheet. All right, now I'm going through my L Studio box of die cuts, which is just ridiculously full. So what happens when you keep them with the collections and then one day decide to cut them all apart and you realize how many you actually have? That and a few grab boxes. So I just picked two blue labels that work with the colors, and then that little blue, it's a printable piece that says "So Rad," because this was pretty rad. And then I'm just going to glue these all down. And one of the things I want to do here, because the flare has some dimension, I want to pop up one of the stars in each of the other two clusters. By the way, that washi tape, I don't know if I told you that, but that is from Target. It's old. It's quite a few years old. So getting those, just getting the stars down here. And now I was just grabbing something from this little dish of embellishments, and they're like odds and ends or stuff that I don't get back into a package. And I had these Queen & Company little kind of like flower star things in that bright blue and the yellow, and I thought, oh my gosh, these are the colors from the layout. I need to use these because those have been, they came in like a pack of embellishments from a card making class that I took with them at either it's probably when I went to the Queen for a Day event last year in Schaumburg. So anyway, got those used up. Now I am taking these Maggie Holmes Willow Lane stickers from the Cheeky Studio August 2018 kit. So if you had that kit, you'll have these stickers. And I'm just going to add the gold stars to bring in some more gold, because right now the only gold per se is tape. And I forgot to use those sequins. Or well, I shouldn't say I forgot to use the sequins. I do eventually forget to use the sequins. Right now, I'm thinking maybe I'll add some of those blue sequins, which is from, I believe, the Easter 2018 collection, onto the layout. That's my plan right now anyway. But first I want to get the title on. Before I do that, I'll need to MacGyver a bunch of letters here, but this gold foam alpha here is from Dear Lizzie. It's the American Crafts, Dear Lizzie American Crafts Fox stickers. And I was going to title this You Are the Greatest, but then I'm not quite sure how that's going to work across the bottom. So right now I'm thinking about, and you can see I don't have T's, so I'm going to take some F's. I don't have E's, so I'm going to MacGyver some Q's into E's. So here I go. Now there's my first, I just cut that to make a C. Oh, I had an N that needed to, I turned that into an R. And I decide that by the time I get the word the greatest out, it's going to be so far across the layout. I wanted to keep it a little bit more contained with that cluster. So I'm going to put the word the above greatest. Because before, if I'd put it out like long, I was thinking about using like some maybe mini tile letters to put the you are above the greatest, which now I didn't think I would like the way that would look. There's just not enough space between the top of the T and the top of the label. Or the title would have extended out past the, which I really didn't want to do. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting a little dot in the middle of that C that I created to make the E. I did take that flare off there because it just didn't match what was going on in the rest of the layout now. That yellow felt too pale, and it was the only thing like it on the layout. I didn't have another flare that would work, so decided to pull that off and just rearrange that cluster a little bit. And I do forget the sequins. I moved the letters and the sequins were under them, so no sequins on this layout. I found them later. There's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you guys are well. Again, don't forget that discount code Kelly10. I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!